I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
Seven, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 118 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your host, Kam.
I'm your boy, Flowz.
And guys, make sure you head over to SZN Pod, which is our Twitter, or SZN Podcast. Get out at us at both of those things there, and I'll take you to where we are streaming-wise. So if you like audio, we're on Spotify, Podcast, etc. If you like visuals, we've got the YouTube channel up and running as well. So head over to those two platforms. Link in the bio. That takes you where we are. Flowz, how you been? You been good? Another week?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
How you?
Yeah, I'm good. Just counting down to, I guess, next year.
Yeah.
Not much to look forward to in it for boxing, but yeah.
We'll give our review at some point.
Still give our reviews, and yeah, we'll look forward to what we got next year. But yeah, boxing, another week has passed, guys. More cards to review, sort of rounding up for the rest of the year. 3 cards were on yesterday, actually. 3 cards. So we had one over in America, 2 over here in the UK. Flowz, do you want to start with the Matchroom card?
Yeah, that was the first one, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one. Yeah, it's one we sort of paid attention to first. So this was the I've even forgotten. This was the
Whyte Franklin.
Thank you. Bloody hell. Mind blank. This was the Whyte, Dylan Whyte, Jermaine Franklin card. Oh wow, flipping now. Okay. We were meant to start with, I guess, Craig Richards versus Ricard Bolotniks. But found out that Craig Richards had an illness, right, so he had to pull out. So that fight got cancelled. So we're gonna obviously best well wishes to Craig, whether he beats that, beats that illness, and still like to see that fight at some point. But cool. Let's go straight into the Fabio Wardley versus Nathan Gorman heavyweight scrap. And scrap it was, Flowz, for how long it lasted. Yeah. We said last week this could be a 50-50, both these fighters. We've heard for the first time, I guess, we gave our opinions on Wardley and what we really felt about him. Young, undefeated, up-and-coming heavyweight. Gorman, we've obviously seen before, only had that one loss to Daniel Dubois, but we recognize he's a good boxer, so it could be posed tricky problems for Fabio Wardley, who we both admit that isn't probably the best boxer, has limited amateur background, but carries a lot of power. I think that's we both said, his power is real. He's got a lot of power, and that's going to help him out in this fight, because that's what took Gorman out last time against Dubois. Gorman was a better boxer than Dubois, but the power game lied with Dubois, and he took him out. So yeah, the fight starts, and round 1, I'm really shaking my head, Flowz. I'm thinking, rah, Gorman's piecing this guy up, I'm liking the way Gorman's boxing. He's counter punching. He's quite heavy, Gorman, but he's got good hand speed, I think, for someone his size. And just good IQ. So yeah, I'm seeing Wardley get pieced up in that first round. I'm thinking, boy, everything I said about this guy is true. Like, he's not the best boxer. He's really struggling here. And it was similar for round 2, Flowz, up until a certain point. Let's put it that way. Yeah, this fight just exploded into just action, bro. From I think it was the second round, right, Flowz? Am I right in saying it was the second round?
Yeah, second round.
Boy, how to describe it, listeners? We've seen Gorman again work behind the jab, counter punch really well against Wardley, and Wardley's looking a bit befuddled, I think. I guess that's just the boxing skill and the hand speed of this guy. And he's piecing, like I said, he's piecing Wardley up. And he's caught Wardley with a big shot, like a couple good shots. And it's busted Wardley open. I think nosebleed, right, Flowz? I think he had a nosebleed, nose busted open.
Yeah, might have even broke it. But
yes,
it was finished.
And after, literally, the moment after he got bust open, it's almost like a switch went in Wardley's head. And he was like, you what? Huh? Nah. And he just went crazy. And I've just seen him launch into just one offensive combination with aggression, and he basically just said, "I'm not a dickhead," and he just went at Gorman and went crazy, and kept spamming the overhand right, the right hand, the big heavy right, kept spamming it, and just an incredible like moment of aggression from Wardley. And I will know we've seen Gorman get dropped heavily, and I'm thinking, rah, what the hell? Where's this come from? And that Gorman never recovered from that, to be honest. Because after Wardley got bust open, he just basically went crazy and just started throwing his hands like crazy. And you could even see it in his face. He looked vexed. He looked angry. And yeah, just went nuts on he just went sick on Gorman and kept spamming the overhand right, which couldn't miss. And yeah, he dropped Gorman a few times, to be honest. I think it ended in the third, right, Flowz?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was based off that moment in the second round. So really weird, Flowz, because like I said, he was losing up until when he got bust open, and he just woke up and he went nuts. And I think it's something we've seen before with Wardley. He kind of needs to take punishment for him to activate and wake up, which is interesting, right?
Yeah, it's funny because kind of what our main critique of him was the Eric Molina fight, where it was like, how can you get pieced up by Eric Molina?
Yeah.
And then he switched after that, because I think he got caught with a good shot, which was like, and we were like, I got caught with a big shot from Eric Molina. Then he switched to stopped it. But to me, it was like getting big shots from Molina
is
nuts.
worrying in itself, right? Yeah.
So this fight, Gorman, round one, control. Gorman's the bigger guy as well. Piecing him up, landing shots at will, and Wardley did look good. And the second half started the same. He even looks like, Wardley can get stopped here.
Yeah.
The way he's eating shots. Like, Gorman's not known for his power too tough, but you're eating shots, so it's worrying. But yeah, as soon as his nose busted, he switched back to Gorman. And look, you're right. He never recovered fully from the first shot because
legs were always shaky. My hands.
Yeah. The other two knockdowns, I don't even think he landed clean. Yeah. Like, it landed, but like it'll be partially gloves, partially taken on the face, and it's still rocking back on the ropes and whatnot. And it was a case of his legs not recovering, where he couldn't get out of danger. So once he was on the ropes, he was food for Wardley. Wardley was just teeing off on him. So it was exciting. You know what? Like, you asked me if I think Wardley could go far. I don't think he can go far, to be honest, but I'm tuning into his fights. I'm tuning in.
Based on what I just saw last night, Fabio Wardley, I'm involved now. I'm involved. Because this thing that you do where you've got to get hurt before you finally wake up and activate, I like it. Hey, it's entertaining. It's very entertaining. Yeah. So he literally had to get hurt before he woke up and thought, and he just started going crazy with the combinations and the barrages of punches. And yeah, very, very entertaining to see. So based off that, I want to see how far this tactic can go. Because I said I'm calling it tactic because he's done it twice in a row now, right? Did it against Molina, and he's now done it against Gorman. So I'm looking to see you against someone else that tags you big. I want to see that same energy. You go sicko mode. Because it was mad to see. I couldn't believe it. And fair play to him, like I said. Didn't necessarily have high. I didn't hold him in high regards beforehand. And we can still see he's really, really raw. You can see that he's super, super raw. Limited amateur background. I think his amateur experience was the white collar stuff before boxing. So he's got zero amateur pedigree really, and we can see that. So they're going to take their time with him. But I did mention last week. I'd made a point to mention his power. He does have real power, and we saw it on display last night. He can hurt these guys, and he's smaller than he's he's tall, but he's slim. So he's not exactly like filled out like. So he's quite small compared to Gorman was a lot bigger than him. But yeah, I guess
Gorman's not the biggest. Gorman's not the biggest heavyweight.
Yeah. Although he was the heaviest I've ever seen him last night, though. He was about 19 stone. I don't think he's ever seen that big, but yeah. But yeah, he looked. Yeah, like I said he's powerful in there. So yeah, I'm on board the Wardley. I'm not like on the bandwagon or anything. I want to see how far he goes with this getting hurt and then waking up thing. It was very, very entertaining last night. I really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, fair. I rate that.
I think I said it last episode that British title fights are always
you're a big fan of them, right, Flowz? Yeah.
Yeah, anytime there's a British title fight,
it's something about that Lonsdale belt, man. Yeah,
man, it's a different kind of fight.
Yeah,
gritty, proper scraps usually. Two people who really want it as well.
Yeah,
it's usually even contest as well. It's usually
it's well matched normally. I always find the matchmaking for British title fights really well done. Yeah.
So it's always going to be entertaining, and it always comes at a good point in the fighters' careers. Usually. But we were saying Wardley comes from that Dylan Whyte school with Babbitt Shin. Under the same stable.
You can tell, right? You can tell.
The sparring in those camps must be hilarious.
I was gonna say the sparring in those camps must be savage, bro. Savage. Like real like serious sparring. I can imagine. Especially because I know how Whyte is. We know how Babbitt is. So, boy,
Wardley in that same stable. So they all come from the same cloth.
Yeah, he fits right in.
But shout out Wardley because he done his thing, and he's
tough fight for him, as you said, and
he's been doing it to everyone he's faced. He's been piecing up these guys and stopping them. He can keep progressing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's not waste time here, Flowz. Let's move on to his boss, Dylan Whyte, Jermaine Franklin. I'm shaking my head, Flowz.
What'd I say?
I'm shaking my head, Flowz. Man, I'm shaking my head because despite Dylan Whyte getting the W yesterday, it wasn't a good performance, man. It wasn't a good performance. It was bad. We might now be seeing the decline of Dylan Whyte, to be perfectly honest. Because we said last week that he should be dispatching this Jermaine Franklin guy pretty comfortably. In fact, not even say pretty, comfortably should be dispatching Jermaine Franklin. I remind you, listeners, Jermaine Franklin's best win is Rydell Booker. His last opponent had a record of 20-22. So, despite him being unbeaten, and despite him being an unknown quantity, Dylan Whyte has been there with the likes of Tyson Fury, AJ, Rivas, Povetkin, Joseph Parker. These are top class heavyweights. And that quality, that cream should rise to the top. But what I saw from Whyte last night, Flowz, I don't know, bro. I was baffled. I was frustrated. Bro, I went for those 12 rounds, I went for a range of emotions of frustration, bewilderment, anger. Like, I'm just thinking, what the hell is going on? What am I watching? Dylan Whyte's gone life and death with Jermaine Franklin, to be perfectly honest, Flowz. He's gone life or death with him. I personally had the fight scored a draw. One judge agreed with me. The other two overruled him. We'll get onto that later. But I think the general consensus on this one was that Dylan Whyte got gifted this W because I saw a lot of people that either had him drawing or losing. So that says a lot. Against Jermaine Franklin? Boy. Yeah, man, the performance was terrible. It hurts to say, man, but I've got to be fair.
Yeah. See, last episode when I was airing my concerns, I said I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm onto Whyte. Well, it's not even so much I'm onto Whyte. I'm just seeing what if I was a fighter, what they should be seeing.
Yeah.
That this guy, he's there for the taking.
He's vulnerable.
He's there for the taking. Like we've seen him show vulnerabilities down to every fight at this point. Down to every fight. We've seen him touch the canvas. He's talked big games before. And we've seen him comatose state.
Yeah.
By one shot. One shot stopped him numerous times.
Yeah.
So I was like, Franklin seemed composed to me. He seemed composed.
Yeah. Let's talk about the preamble, Flowz, because it was funny you mentioned he talked a big game because this fight I didn't really care for this fight leading up to it. Even last week when we previewed it, I didn't really care because I just thought to myself, Whyte should take care of this guy. And it's not an opponent which I know of or which I check for. Then the face-off dropped, and I watched it. I got a bit more excited because of Whyte's performance in the face-off. I personally, for me, I thought he was hilarious in that face-off. He was talking hella crud. He basically spent the entire face-off just ripping Jermaine Franklin and just being hella rude. And one thing about Dillian Whyte, when he wants to, he can talk up a fight when he wants to. So I saw that and I was laughing. I thought, Whyte's such a joker, man. This is why I kind of like his personality, all that kind of stuff. Let's see what he's going to do, because he's talking the stuff about how he's going to stop this guy and he's going to batter him, all that kind of stuff from pillar to post. He said he's going to knock his dreads off. I thought it was hilarious. Cool. So I'm expecting. Well, I'm definitely not expecting what I saw yesterday. That's for sure. But during that face-off, this Franklin guy, he didn't rise to it.
He didn't bite once.
Calm. Didn't bite. Just calm. It was like, cool, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna do me. That calm, quiet confidence. Like, I'm not gonna talk too much. You're gonna see what I'm gonna do. Watch me. That's basically what it was on.
That face-off was funny because Whyte was. I was getting annoyed with Whyte because Whyte was talking. I said, "You're doing better talking. We've heard you talking before.
Yeah,
you're talking bare." He says, Frankie said, I wanted to fight you time ago," and Whyte goes, "I'm not hard to find. Then 5 minutes later, he said, "I had other plans. You know what knows you."
I noticed he contradicts himself there. Yeah,
I was like,
don't forget. He said Whyte also said in that thingy how they were looking for Franklin. They were chasing. He said that first. He said, "We were coming after you. This could happen." He said, "This could have been happened, but you weren't on it." And then afterwards, like 5 minutes later, he said that, we weren't checking for you. We were looking at other guys.
Yeah, I wanted to fight for you, so why would I fight you? So he contradicted himself there.
Yeah,
I was like, "You're talking too much, bro." And he was doing all of this. I want to knock you out. This is London. All of this talk.
Yeah.
And Jermaine Franklin was like, "Yeah, all right." And then Whyte was going, "Oh yeah, you said you're going to knock me out. Why aren't you going to knock me out now?" Franklin wasn't biting.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, you know what, Franklin could do something here. I'm not even going to pretend like I've seen Franklin box. I think I've seen clips.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, and even on the pods last episode, I was like, "Look, Whyte, you better be impressive, otherwise this guy's going to shock you or do."
Yeah.
And even leading up to it, I was like, I have a bad feeling that Whyte's going to.
Yeah, you did. You told me you've got a bad feeling. You said you fancied an upset. I remember you telling me. You said you fancied an upset.
And then watching it, I was even more disappointed.
First round,
I was disappointed, bro.
From the first round, we said it straight away from the first round. I'm looking at Franklin to see what this guy can bring.
Yeah,
and I'm seeing, first of all, he's got a quick jab, quick hands. Quick jab, touching Dillian with a jab straight away. And he was countering Dillian as well. And yeah, to me, he won the first round just off the bat of the jabbers alone, because he was bobbing his head back in that first round with the jab. And Dillian, to me, was just looking a bit slow, a bit ponderous in that first round. Yeah. Franklin started investing in the body first, and then Dillian responded to the body. But I'm just looking at, okay, I'm not what's it called? The footwork is good. I'm not hand speed is good. And I can see that the IQ is there. So I'm thinking, okay, he's caught a bit of something. But I'm expecting, obviously, the latter rounds. Obviously, Whyte will warm up. Round 2, pretty much the same as well. Whyte, slow, ponderous. Franklin able to, even on the ropes, boxing well off the ropes and countering, even spinning Whyte. And every time Whyte landed something, Franklin will try and fire back straight away. Like, he wouldn't let Whyte win the exchanges. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing someone that is actually decently skilled in there, and his game, very, very game. Like, he wasn't just waiting for what. So there were times where they'll be standing there, and Franklin will try and get off first, all that kind of stuff. And on the contrast, I'm seeing Dillian, like I said, looking really slow, looking ponderous. And I'm there thinking, you know what? Dillian Whyte is not only the bigger man here, so he should be winning the battle of the jabs. But also, he's just like, the tempo's tight. Like, the tempo is so slow. And I feel like if you up the tempo with this guy, you can take this guy out. If you're being serious, you up the tempo. Because boxing at this super slow pace clearly suits this guy more. I think it was from round 3 when Whyte woke up a little bit and started to really go to the body hard, bang to the body hard. That's his. We know that's Dillian Whyte's MO. He's a really good body puncher for heavyweight, and he started hitting the body hard. And that's when I'm there thinking, okay, cool. From now on, now we're going to see Dylan Whyte sort of elevate his game a little bit and just show a bit of levels. And to be fair to Whyte, he was probably landing the harder shots throughout the fights, the bigger shots. But for me, I'm there seeing someone that, cool, you land the harder shots and the better shots. You might say the better quality work is coming from Whyte at this point. But bro, you're still getting touched. It was the fact that he kept still getting touched that was worrying me, I think. But yeah, how did you see, I guess, the opening couple rounds, Flowz? Were you surprised at how good Franklin looked?
I was laughing because I was remembering my ad-libs watching the fight.
Oh, right, yeah.
When Franklin came out, I was like, yo, that jab's quicker than I thought. Because he doesn't look, he doesn't look athletic.
He's a bit tubby, right?
Yeah, he's tubby. He's not even, he's smaller than Whyte.
Yeah.
That jab looked quick. And I was like, yo, ish, yikes.
Yikes.
Because he was tagging Whyte, catching him with the jab, with the right hand. His footwork looked good. He knew when to step out. He knew when to step into Whyte and smother him. And I was like, yo, like first round, I was already yelling. I was like, yo, Whyte needs to wake up. Because this is a guy who's been on the couch for 3 years. Yeah. Whyte alluded to it, maybe he had family issues that he was going through.
Personal issues, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, this guy's been on the couch. He's never fought remotely at this level. Yeah. And so I was impressed with what I saw from Franklin. He was bringing it to Whyte and he was catching Whyte and he looks like he belonged. It didn't take too long for me to be impressed because the jab was quick, the jab was there, and he was picking good shots.
All you need is a good jab, Flowz.
And his footwork and his movement looked good as well. He seemed focused. So I was like, I think maybe the third round Whyte slightly woke up and made it competitive. But he still lost it. He still lost the first week in my eyes.
Now, at this point, I'm there thinking, okay, you've semi-woken up in the third round. This is where you're going to start to build some rounds, right? And based on the fact that this guy is coming off, he hasn't fought in 3 years and hasn't fought remotely in this level, we should see, I guess, a decline in, stamina for Jermaine Franklin.
Never fought a 12-rounder either.
Never fought a 12-rounder. This is where we're going to see, obviously this is Whyte's 12. He's been 12 rounds many times. So this is where we start to see championship level boxing in that sense. And based on the body work as well, Whyte was invested in the body. So he was coming with hurtful shots to the body, etc. But the work that Whyte was doing for my liking, and I think we did see a decline in Franklin in terms of he started to blow a little bit in the middle portion of the fight, I think it was. And Whyte then started to really, assert his authority or try to. But my issue with what Whyte was doing, was the fact that the combinations were few and far between, Flowz. It almost, like I said, it was super ponderous. That Whyte, to me, fought that fight, like he was sleepy the entire fight. Like he was low. I keep saying he was low on iron, like he was anemic. Like he needed that kind of Red Bull or something, because I felt, to me, this is why I was getting frustrated. Because I thought that, like, if he just upped the ante a little bit and maybe threw his hands, maybe then he can really, really apply pressure on Jermaine Franklin and make him wilt, because this is the point where Jermaine, the activity is starting to lessen and lessen with each round. I think, obviously, based on the fact that he hasn't been 12 rounds before, he hasn't fought at this level. Whyte was leaning on him and also the body work. So just apply yourself now and really, really put together a good couple rounds and get this guy out there. But Whyte wasn't doing it, bro. More content to show off his new flashy cross-arm guard to block his uppercuts and whatnot. Just walking forward, like he would walk forward at some portions doing the George Foreman, Ken Norton cross-arm guard and just stand there in front of this guy. And I'm thinking, dude, what are you going to do? Let your hands, like, pick some shots. Like, he would just pick single shots. It was trash. It was really pissing me off. Because I'm there thinking, maybe at this point, at this juncture, Jermaine Franklin could, because this guy's going to get a second wind. Everyone gets a second wind. This is where you start to go now. And he flipping did.
He got his second wind.
He got his second wind within a big way. And what did he do? He went and rocked Dylan Whyte. Oh my gosh.
And he outworked him. He worked him. I'm also impressed from Franklin. He didn't every shot Whyte threw, that was a big shot. He ate it.
Chin's good.
ate it and responded with his own. Never let him
Yes.
get the last word. Responded with his fought back every single time.
Second half of the fight, yeah. Dylan Whyte, I said he's in danger of losing this fight just due to work rate alone. Because he's letting this Franklin guy outwork him. Franklin wasn't always landing. To be fair to Dylan, the cross-arm thing was working in terms of preventing uppercuts, and he wasn't taking many shots to the face. A lot of the punches did get blocked, I think, in the second half of the fight. But, like I said, what the judges like to see, work rate. Whyte, I mean, this guy was outworking Dylan Whyte, and he shouldn't be. Making sure that he won the exchanges, stealing rounds. Buddy McGirt even said that you're letting this guy steal rounds. Don't let him do that, because you hit the last 30 seconds of the round, Franklin will activate and start proper throwing the combinations and exchanges. And like I said, he managed to rock Whyte. I think, what was it, the 9th round? Might have been the 8th.
Yeah, might have been the 9th. By the end of the round.
I was so disgusted, Flowz, because it was an exchange. They both had an exchange, and basically Franklin won the exchange, and Whyte got saved by the bell, bro. He got caught. It wasn't an uppercut. It was just a regular hook.
Yeah.
Got caught. He legs started shaking. He went towards the ropes a little bit, and then the bell went. And I'm just there thinking, my gosh, this is why I said I had to get Dylan Whyte out of here, because what? How are you getting rocked by Jermaine Franklin, bro?
You little rookie. A rookie, bro.
But this guy is a rookie. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man, it's shocking. Let me go out and say, chip in. I had Whyte. Whyte lost.
You thought Whyte? You had him. I think I had it a draw. Close
fight. I'll accept a draw. I might even accept Whyte winning because it was a close fight.
Yeah,
and because we know boxing, I expected Whyte to win regardless. I don't think Franklin done enough to sway the boxing judges as we know them to be, which is a travesty in itself. But yeah,
I will say this, Flowz. Whyte landed the better shots and I guess the more quality shots throughout the fight, I think. Or the heavy, yeah. I think
if
Franklin
you do
maybe more volume,
shots.
yeah, which can easily sway the judges, I think, but also hometown too, and AJ fight has more money in. But
that's They want to stop the AJ Whyte cash, and credit to Hearn because Hearn even said it was close. Like he didn't want to lie too much.
I'll be honest, it wasn't like Franklin was killing Whyte in these rounds. Every round was competitive in my eyes. It was all competitive rounds, but I think that's the issue I have. Thank you, Flowz. That's the issue I have, is the fact that I don't think Whyte should be having toe-to-toe competitive rounds with Jermaine Franklin. Again, no shade to Franklin. I'm a fan now. I want to see him again because he showed me a lot. And, bro, he showed me dog. Especially in that 12th round. We got to the 12th round. The
11th round. Remember that first as well. At the end of the 11th, when he got caught, he was like, let's go.
He got caught big time. And he, like you said, he ate some huge shots from Whyte. Big flush shots. He took him. And that 12th round, again, there's about 40 seconds left. Whyte's landed a huge haymaker on Franklin. Legs gone instantly. He's falling against the ropes. Whyte's going in for the kill and swinging like crazy. You know, when Whyte tries to finish things, he loses his balance. You know, he throws his man does overhand. Then obviously he's very unbalanced when he throws his shots sometimes. So he misses and he's like stumbling. And Whyte's very we said it before, he's very unorthodox. You were even creasing some of the shots he was throwing.
He threw shots from his elbow.
It was this one. It was a
a lot of slaps, a lot of shots from the elbow.
So, but Franklin was seriously hurt at this point. There's about 10 seconds left, and then he starts firing back as well. Even though he's got no legs, he starts trying to trade as well. I think he even caught Whyte as well. Not a big shot, but like he was still in there. That's what said to me, you know what? Applaud this guy because he's shown serious dog in there. He's a warrior, and he gave Dylan Whyte hell. He gave him hell, to be perfectly honest. But I knew, Flowz. I knew the judges wouldn't give it to Whyte. I knew.
Give it to Franklin, you mean? Yeah.
Sorry, Franklin. Yes. No, I'm saying I said I knew the judges would give it to Whyte overall.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean, yeah. So when I've heard that first scorecards 115, I'm there thinking, oh. But obviously, then they let you know straight away. However, judges, they will say, however, judges Vingy scored it wherever. I said, oh, rah, it's gonna be MD. It's going to Dylan Whyte.
116, 112.
116, 112. Which I disagree with. My scorecard was the same as the 115 guy. I had it that. So, yeah.
I had it 7-5 to Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt that was fair.
Yeah. I'm not mad at
he
Franklin
went-
W. I for me, I don't think Whyte won. I would either have it a draw or a loss for him. For me, if I was but I had it a draw. But I don't have a.
I'll tell you what. They got Franklin at a good time. Because let's say Franklin had the prep. He'd gone through the rankings, wasn't on the cap, one fight in 3 years. Let's say he didn't have those problems and had the right step ups and was active and stepped in there with Whyte. Man, and he'd been prepared for a 12 rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whyte's a lucky boy. At the right time. Great at the right time and still barely made it through. I want to see Franklin again. I guess the next thing is we both agree the judges were on stuff, but we know why. Yeah. What next for both fighters is what I want to discuss.
Dylan Whyte needs to cash out. Dylan Whyte needs to cash out. So if it's the AJ thing, that's his last fight, cash out with the AJ thing. I think he loses the AJ thing, the AJ fight, but he needs to cash out. I think like I said, I think we've seen a decline with Dylan Whyte. He suffered bad lockouts. And even one of my friends was saying how he feels he's looking at Whyte interviews and stuff, and he feels like he's slurring or slurring more than usual, that kind of stuff. He feels like he's taking too much damage, too much punches or whatever. And I guess just based on that performance, it's a decline. So I'm looking at Dylan Whyte start to cash out. Start thinking about the exit plan, if you ask me.
Yeah. I think it'll be difficult to slang an AJ Whyte fight off that performance. I mean, AJ can slang anything.
I was going to say, bro, Flowz is getting slanged. It's getting slanged.
Yeah.
It's getting, I think, bro, with ease.
It's AJ. Stepped on, though.
It's getting slanged. It's getting slanged with ease, man. That's not an issue. It's going to get slanged.
Yeah, Whyte should have made a... But anyway, yeah. He might even be a gatekeeper now. I'd like to see him fight Dubois.
I saw people calling him that. I saw people calling him a gatekeeper.
He might be a gatekeeper now. I think that the options... Obviously, he has the AJ rematch lined up. So lucky for him. If he lost, the options for me were Chisora III or Dubois.
It's Chisora III.
Yeah, Parker. Him v Parker is not something people want to see. I don't think.
Don't want to see him. So, Chisora. Don't want to see him Parker. I'll see Dubois. I'll take that. I'll see Dubois.
Dubois might stop him.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, might. Yeah, might. I'm not going to say will. I think Joyce definitely stops him. I've said that before. I think Joyce gives him a bad day.
Yeah.
But Dubois is still a maybe for now. But yeah, I'll take the Dubois fight. I have no interest in seeing Chisora III. Chisora needs to pack it in as well, to be honest. But
yeah, losing retires match. That's what
Chisora, bring it back. We'll talk about Chisora a bit later. But Parker, no interest whatsoever. Yeah, they're gonna slam the AJ rematch. And fair enough. It's gonna make money. It's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But just off that performance, unless Whyte can raise his game, unless he generally didn't take this guy seriously and just went in there for the rounds, and he's able to raise his game for AJ, but off that performance, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, bruv.
AJ was smiling, looking at him like,
he was creasing. AJ was creasing, bro. Thinking, you're barbecue chicken. You are jerk chicken.
I want to cook this dude.
Come on, jerk this guy up, man.
Yeah. It's a good fight to build AJ's career again. If he stops him quicker than Fury did or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great look for AJ to stop him quickly.
Yeah.
What about Franklin?
I want to see him again. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I want to see him again. I thought he did really well, handled himself well the whole preamble and the fight. Post-fight, he said that he felt he got robbed. The coach was killing me. Put mouthing off to Dylan. But you lost. Coach was
got your ass whooped.
Franklin said, he said, look, I lost, but it's a hometown thingy. Like, I felt I controlled the fight, blah, 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 blah. So I rated what he said. He didn't there wasn't no uproar or whatever. He just said his piece and cut. So I want to see Jermaine Franklin again, 100%. I'm impressed with what he did in there. The footwork, the hand speed. Maybe, I will even say, I don't know how powerful he is, but he was able to rock right. So maybe he has got something. Maybe he's got pop. So yeah, he should come again. I want to see him. I think you mentioned, you want to see what the Babbages and the the Clarks, the Wardleys. Yeah,
let me see Wardley next. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
I think he gives a lot of these guys hell. I like what I saw, and given the context, like we said, hasn't fought anyone of note. Best wins of Mydell Booker, which we were killing him for, but getting out again, and I think he's a good prospect. We talked about his amateur background, won a few Golden Gloves. Yeah. He's from Michigan, so you already know he's got hands.
Yeah.
I like to see him again.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, rounding up, not a good performance with Dillian Whyte, not a good performance. We might be seeing Dillian Whyte on the decline. It's not looking good, man. Dillian Whyte's not looking good. It's not looking good, breath.
He should start planning a retirement plan or something.
Yeah, exit plan, man. Exit plan.
AJ lost and get out of it.
Yeah. Get your bread. You had a great career. Been done dirty. We acknowledge that. But sometimes you got to know when it's time to hang it up. Simple.
Made a lot of money, though.
Yes. 100. So. Became a pay-per-view star. So shout out to him. Quickly, do we quickly touch upon the Queensbury card? Just quickly, I need to talk about Adam Azim. I always get his name wrong. Adam Azim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got his customary first, second round knockout.
Yeah, who was he fighting? That River. I can't remember the brother's name. But yeah, he done his thing. Yeah. No, wait. Adam. Adam. Adam Azim's a boxer.
Boxer, not Queensbury. Hamza Shiraz. That's the one.
We both fought.
Yeah.
But yeah. Who do you want to talk about?
We'll go Hamza quickly.
Okay, yeah. He's I don't know who he fought, but he stops my man.
This guy, yeah. But on that card as well, it was the Ryder Parker fight as well, right? That one ended weirdly. Basically, Parker broke his hand and he kind of retired himself, I guess, which gave him his first loss, and they gave John Ryder a win. Obviously, it's been a while. John Ryder's been there. He's been in the trenches for a long time, hasn't he? So, huge win for him, because I think at the time, I can't remember the scorecards, but from what I saw, because I had both up, the zone card and that one up, but it looked like Ryder was giving his usual pressure fighting, bully, all over him, like a rash kind of. I guess the pressure kind of told. This guy broke his hand, so yeah, huge win for John Ryder, but unlucky for Zach Parker.
Now makes it mandatory for Canelo.
Yeah,
John Ryder.
Yeah.
Great career resurgence.
I was gonna say had the great career resurgence, man. Shout out to him.
Got a gift against what's his name?
What?
Danny Jacobs.
Jacobs, yeah.
And now this win. So Canelo.
Fair play. What a run.
Yeah, great run.
Great run. But yeah, that's that. Let's quickly go over to America, because there was a huge fight over there on those shores, which we forgot to preview last week. It completely slipped my mind. And I don't know why, because it's a boxer that we're both huge fans of. We like both of these fights, actually, but specifically Regis Prograis. We've mentioned a bunch of time in this pod. Rougarou. He was up against Jose Zepeda for the vacant WBC light welterweight strap. Just one of, I think, Josh Taylor's old. Yeah, it's one of Josh Taylor's old belts. Yeah, man. Regis Prograis is really him, man. He's really that guy. We've said it so many times in this pod that we feel like he's probably aside from Josh Taylor, I guess he's going to put Catwalker up there now after what he did to Taylor. They put him up there. But aside for those guys, Regis Prograis is the one in that division for me. And I think the performance yesterday, again, just showed how it solidified it, man. He's managed to stop Jose Zepeda, who was a quality fighter. Let's put it that way. Quality fighter for us. I think we both agree upon that. Very good fighter. Stopped him in the 11th round. And I don't say he made it look easy, but I think he handled Zepeda, to be honest, that entire fight. Bar one round where he had a bit of trouble. We'll get into that. But overall, it was a fully accomplished performance, and he dogged the hell out of Zepeda. Yeah, man, just a really good fighter. And it was a great fight, to be honest. Two top class guys at the top of their game. Zepeda's been on a great run. Since he's been on a sick run actually for a while now, hasn't he? Obviously with that
Game of fight of the year a few years ago.
Yep. Against the Branchik fight. He's taken out loads of guys as well. So this was kind of his moment. So I think second time fighting third time fighting for a title. But yeah, Regis is just he's so intense, man. He's almost like it's funny because I think they're part of the same batch or the same camp, but he's almost like a welterweight version of Spence. In the sense that he's just so intense. He can come with you with just the raging bull style and just come forward and walk you down, or he can actually box super, super well. And he carries power in both hands. He's very heavy-handed for a light welterweight. And hence his knockout ratio is crazy. I think the first couple rounds were quite cagey in the sense that it was Zepeda. I liked Zepeda's jab. I like the way he started with the jab. He was using the jab really, really well, really good footwork. And he had great hand speed. I felt like he was beating Regis to the punch a couple of times. But Regis undeterred. I noticed, I think it was from round 3 or 4 when Regis started to make he made slight adjustments, I think, to turn the battle in his favor. And that was, he started moving his head a lot more. I think his head movement was superb. And from him moving his head, it sort of negated the Zepeda jab. And it also allowed him to just start to walk Zepeda down and just come with the intensity of just, staying on you like a rash. And with that head movement, sort of moving really well, made him hard to hit as well. And one thing about Regis, bro, he's very, very heavy-handed. Very heavy-handed. And he was landing the big shots at will, I think, against Zepeda. And Zepeda, you could see he started to break down. His face was mashed up. Started to break down with each round upon round because basically Regis was walking him down, using his head to move up from the jab and his big shots, then landing his big, big power shots, his combinations, which are all very handed, all thrown with mean intentions. And I think that, to me, it was overall, to summarize, I thought that was the story of the fight, really. Regis was just bigger and stronger in that sense and hit harder. And was harder to hit as well because Zepeda's face was mashed up. Apart from one round, which was the 10th round. But before I get into that, what were your thoughts on, I guess, the early couple rounds and both of them, what they were doing in there?
Yeah, Zepeda started well for me. Yeah, I liked his jab. He was picking some good shots. Like you say, big fan of Prograis. We know what he brings. He's also got that awkwardness where he leads from side to side with the head movement. So it's not just bobbing or weaving. He leads. He'll be awkward. He'll mix it up. He does things which makes it difficult for the opponent. It's not so much that he does the fast switch stuff where he dodges, but he's just making it awkward where he brings his hands up and down. He leads to the side.
He's hard to hit. He's hard to hit clean.
Yeah,
he's hard to hit clean.
He's constantly moving. He's constantly throwing distractions. He'll bring his guard up. He'll bring it down.
Yeah.
He'll throw the jab. He'll have his hands up here. He does things which are pretty good. And then obviously, like you say, power with both hands. So he can catch you with both. He can come over the top. Yeah. And we started to see more of that as the fight went on, and he started to pick up. And it's always entertaining when he's in the ring. Obviously, we know Zepeda is a game operator as well. So I think, it started off cagey, where it started off exciting. I wouldn't even say cagey in the sense that, nothing was happening. Action was happening, but it was hard to pick between the two. Yeah. I think then we just started to get into things, and we saw Zepeda kind of fade and Prograis start to take more control. Apart from, I think you wanted to talk about the 10th round.
He stayed intense throughout, basically, and we've seen Zepeda have to start to wilt. And Zepeda kept bringing his hands down, and every time I did that, Regis would clock him every single time. And I don't know if that was due to fatigue or just the pressure he was under, but I felt like Regis could land his big shots almost at will. But credit to Zepeda, true Mexican warrior. We know Mexicans, they will go out on the shield, they'll fight to the very end. 10th round, after he's bloodied and bruised at this point, face will mash up. He's down on his cards. He's been getting battered, to be honest. And he catches Regis with a huge shot. And basically, he caught, and actually, he hurt Regis. I think Regis got rocked. He was hurt. And we've just seen Zepeda try to explode, right? and go for the kill kind of. Because it's one of them Hail Mary shots, crap. I've got him hurt. I'll go for it now because I'm down here. I need to do something. And what I liked from both of these fighters, Zepeda's he's fighting on instinct, right? He's fighting on fumes. And Regis himself, even though he's hurt, he's been game to entertain it as well. So they both started
forward.
They've both been scrapped. So they're both in that 10th round, when Regis is actually hurt, they're both scrapping their life away. And Regis, I think that 10th round that busted open Regis as well. I think it was his ear or something something was bleeding where he was as well. So that's what made that 10th round so exciting. And the 11th as well. It was kind of like basically a war broke out in that 10th round of Regis getting hurt and getting caught. But definitely that was Zepeda's best round. Definitely. Because he was able to catch him with some big shots.
With that 10th round, by the end of it, I looked at Zepeda and he's like, he was the one deflating.
But the thing is, he celebrated. He celebrated though. Yeah. When the bell went, he went like this.
I know because he won the round, but
yeah.
From what I was
that
seeing,
was his chance.
Regis didn't fold.
He didn't fold.
He didn't fold. He was the one who kept forward.
Yeah.
And while they were clinching, I still thought Regis looked strong in that clinch when they clinched up. So I was like, I think maybe even woke up Regis because what we saw in the 11th.
Bro, 11th round, Regis came out and said, cool, you've had your little fun in the 10th. It's time to close the show, baby. And that's what he did, man. Caught Zepeda with a big, massive shot. Zepeda instantly rocked. And when I say Regis Prograis is a killer, serious killer. When he gets his opponents hurt, he goes in for the kill. And he's just hit him with a barrage of hooks and combinations. And yeah, man, Zepeda, bro, he didn't respond. He couldn't respond. It was that bad. These were huge shots. We've already said this guy's heavy-handed. Boom, boom, boom. It's dropped him, and I think that's when the ref got it, because I think one of them was raw. One of them actually proper folded him onto the ropes, and that's when the referees jumped in and called it. But it was done. It was done. He wasn't going to come back from that. Regis is a finisher, man. He's a real finisher. And
you happy with the stoppage?
I was happy with the stoppage, yes.
Okay.
I was. Were you?
Yeah. I didn't see too many people complain.
Yeah, no. I
thought maybe we might because
he didn't get a chance to jump up. He didn't get him a chance to count, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of just stopped it.
I know why. It's because the final one that dropped him looked bad. Yeah. It was a real heavy shot.
He went through like the ropes, yeah.
Brother, it was a seriously heavy shot. So I think the referee was like, whoa.
And he was taking a lot of shots that still standing almost.
Yes, before he went down, yeah.
Yeah, he was like hurt, pretty much out of it, and then he took a few more shots while he was still trying to stand. And and when that happens, the ref usually does jump in. So yeah.
Hats off to Regis Prograis. I had no doubt he was going to win this, to be honest. Shame we didn't preview it last week because we were giving predictions, etc. But I like I said, in that division, I'm rocking with Regis, man. I think Regis is the one for that division. He wants to unify. He said straight away he wants to fight Josh Taylor. If they can make that rematch, he would love to. Obviously, depending on what happens with Jake Taylor, Catterall 2. We'd love to fight in Dubai somewhere, someone that's neutral, as opposed to the UK, for example, or America. I'm down. I don't know, but obviously, I think Josh plans to move up. We'll see. But one thing about Regis, he's happy to call out people, and he said straight away, that these guys have been ducking me, which I believe is true. He said none of these men have mentioned my name at this division. Every time they talk about fighters, who to fight, blah blah. But now that I've got the green strap, the WBC, they have to come see me. They have to. So, and I believe that. I do think Regis is ducked in 140. I think people know. The other fighters know he's a problem. Because even when Teofimo came up and he was naming names, who should I fight at 140? He started atting the guys. He did a poll. Yeah. Remember, he did a tweet saying, who should I fight 140? And I think it was like Zepeda, Ramirez, Taylor. Regis replied saying, what about me?
Yeah. And all these guys who dabble at 140, Tank.
If you notice, no one mentions Regis Prograis. No one.
He said it.
Notice.
None of them say my name.
None of these guys say his name. And I think I know why. It's because they know he's serious. He's very serious. So I'm very happy to see him back on top. Do you think he takes that division? As in, do you think for you, because you know that division's for the killers, we can run through them. We got JCR. Yeah. Bro, he said JCR's been ducking him for 5 years. He said JCR, we've got Taylor, Catterall, Tank Dabbles, Ryan Garcia's there now, right? Teofimo's there. Where do you put Regis with these guys?
Well, before Josh Taylor was number one, and it was Prograis number two for me.
Yeah.
And that's even almost.
And that fight was 50-50 to me.
Yeah, that's just Taylor pipping it.
Yeah.
For me, the way Catterall scored Taylor, he might have to drop down a peg or two. Yeah, so I think right now Prograis would be the man of the division with an asterisk on him facing the winner of Catterall and Taylor in that rematch. Obviously, we have the young guns, Teofimo.
I don't think he wants to see Prograis yet. I can't lie.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to see him yet. Same with Garcia.
But it's a stacked division, and we know in the future that division is going to have the likes of Haney, the likes of Shakur. So, how long Prograis can have that crown?
What I'm going to say is Prograis is not food for anyone. He's both power and both hands. He only lost to Taylor, and that fight was 50-50. That fight was, till this day, people debate who won that fight. It was literally a pick 'em fight.
Yeah, Taylor won it still, but
but I can see an argument for
it was a close fight.
Prograis winning. It was mad close, man, mad close. So
close fight.
He's
but anyway, down the line, the future is Shakur and Haney. So
we'll see.
Shakur really and truly.
I can't wait. We'll see. We'll see. But shout out to Regis Prograis. We want to see more. I'd like to see you fight all these guys. Ramirez, Taylor, Shakur, all of them. So yeah, when the time comes. But he's definitely the man right now, man. And it's good to see him back on top. Because it's been a long sort of comeback for him since the Taylor loss. Adam Azim, quickly Flowz, before we start getting the previews off.
Yeah, so obviously that fight I think must have been moved to the Sunday night because of all the domestic cards we had on Saturday. So Adam Azim versus Ryle and Charlton.
Yeah.
Right. So Charlton's
he's a usual guy they pick up from. He's been about for a long time.
Yeah. He upset the apple cart once, and that kind of propelled him into being a bigger test for some of these up and coming fighters.
Yeah.
He's got a few losses on his resume. Florian Marku being one. The upset was to Joe Laws, I believe, where did he stop Joe? He dropped Joe Laws. I thought
he stopped him, but
gave him hell anyway, and so now he's been kind of picked as someone who could have maybe progressed, but he didn't because he failed future tests. So he's kind of like a test for these young and up and coming fighters. Azim stopped him in 2 rounds, dropped him twice in the first, and dropped him again in the third. Tow's been thrown in, banged him up.
Yeah.
Now Azim, someone I've been waiting to see more of because he's been fighting legit food.
Well, you said you want to see him take a punch.
Everyone.
You said you literally just want to see him take a punch. So still the same. We're still basically waiting for Adam Azim to get punched. Simple.
Yeah, I think Charlton didn't land nothing, but he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Like the way this battled Charlton was like, impressive. But once again, before I start singing these praises too much, I need to see him I need to let him do what he's doing. Keep doing what you're doing because it's not like a Josh Kelly where I'm like,
yeah.
But I just need to before I start singing Azim's praises too tough. I need to keep seeing more. But so far, no complaints from me. Really,
so far so good.
Picking good shots and he's stopping guys. When you're stopping guys, it's hard to critique too much.
Yeah, true. And you're beating what's in front of you, so it's weird. Yeah. So, I hear you. Fair play. Shout out to him. Definitely an exciting up and coming fight to look out for. I'm sure we're going to see better of him next year. A lot of him next year. Boxer are going to make sure they push this guy because at the moment he looks like he's got the star power. We've got some previews for next week, Flowz. 2 fights. Should we start with the big boys? The fight no one really wanted. Tyson, but we got to talk about Tyson Fury, man. Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora, the trilogy that everyone wanted. Let me not say no one wanted. Everyone wanted. Man. What's to say about this fight, man? Tyson Fury is gonna. I hate to say he's gonna batter Derek. He should batter Derek. I'm not really entertaining him losing, to be honest. I can't see how he loses to Derek Chisora. This is Chisora that is 12 losses in. Had his little Indian summer, but it's still a 12-loss for Derek Chisora. This is Fury that is so much better from when the first 2 fights, Fury won comfortably, to be honest. And Fury is miles better than he was back then than he is now. He's miles better now than he was back then. And this is Chisora, who, like you said, a lot more mileage on the clock compared to back then. So yeah, I guess we've almost previewed this fight in the sense that, or we spoke about it at length because it's a fight that no one wanted, and it's just the fact that obviously Fury did all the smoke and mirrors with the AJ thing and the whole retirement thing, just to only end up fighting Derek Chisora. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a Fury W. It's gonna be easy Fury W, I think.
Yeah, this is a nothing fight for me. Well, not nothing. It's a hard sell. I don't know how they're trying to slang it. I'll be annoyed if Tyson tries to drag it out just to prove a point. I think he might do as well. I think
he's that type of person.
And
then say, see, Derek Chisora is a tough fighter, blah, blah. Yeah. I've already seen it. Yeah.
He'll mess around. He'll just lean on him. He'll do what he needs to do to make it go 12 rounds and say, yeah, he's just talking better. And he'll do that. And so, he might even take a few shots on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fury can do what he wants in this fight, right? He can end it however he wants. He can do what he wants to Derek.
It's a rubbish fight, and we saw True Jordy stick it on him about it. Anyway, yeah, I have nothing to say on it, really.
It's like, it's mad. You think of a Tyson Fury fight, and we're struggling to preview it because of how bad it is. Like it's a terrible fight.
We've seen it twice before, and he beat him easily.
So why the hell would we want to see it the third time?
Why are we seeing it? Where did it?
Chisora has just come off a loss as well.
Like he beat
Pulev. He beat Pulev.
Barely.
But before Pulev, what was it? Was it 4 losses in a row?
Yeah, Parker lost to Parker twice. Usyk.
And who else? Was it one more? No,
might be 3 in a row. But yeah, come off the.
But even Pulev was an SD.
Yeah,
it was close.
Chisora's not ranked in the top 10. He's not a factor in the heavyweight division anymore. Yeah.
I just feel like cool. Mandatory, no, not mandatory, it's voluntary, first of all. Cool, you want to have a fight. You've had a tough fight against Dillian Whyte. Oh, Dillian Whyte was a super tough opponent. Cool. But you can still find a better. I'm not saying fight the best, because obviously we want you to fight Usyk, and Usyk said it can't happen this year, it's gonna happen next year. But you can definitely find a more credible opponent than Derek Chisora. And that's no shade to Chisora, it's just how it is. But Fury's Fury. All along we said it'll be Chisora or what's his name? Char. Yeah, that's what's happened.
It was going to be Char, but the pressure, the pressure, they had to find someone else quick.
Yeah.
Because people got into them.
Yeah.
Fury dug himself a hole by doing all that talking, and half the camp saying he wants big fights. He's not interested in fighting people with losing records, and just contradicted himself so much.
Yeah.
That now no one's can take him seriously in that sense.
Effectively.
Like if he wanted to take a warm-up fight, more than welcome to. But then don't lead us on, or try to lead us on with Chase and AJ. There was no deadlines for this negotiation.
Yeah.
Anyway, he'll win.
We've spoken about it, but yeah, he'll win and he'll entertain some rubbish, probably call out AJ, or probably just his usual tirade about how all these guys are bum dossers and the big bodybuilder, they want to fight him, and Usyk's too small, whatever. But yeah, hopefully, Flowz, this is the end of Tyson Fury for this year, because his antics this year have been annoying. So hopefully, cool, he does this, he goes away, we see him again next year. Hopefully, he wants to make the Usyk fight, which is what I want the most at this point, as opposed to the AJ fight. Yeah, they've said that they might they'll probably try and make that next year. Fingers crossed. You never know with boxing. We know boxing's a mess, so probably won't happen. Who knows? But let's get this out of the way now. Bye, Fury. Go enjoy your Christmas, because the antics have been annoying all year. And this is the cherry on the cake, to be honest. Chisora III, though, and it's been slammed on pay-per-view.
26
£26, I think it is, £26.95.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't know if they've sold it out. Who knows? Probably charging an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I looked at the prices. They're nuts.
Yeah,
I doubt we saw that.
Undercard, chief support is Daniel Dubois. He's against Kevin Lerana, I think it is. Kevin Lerana, some South African heavyweight. Yeah. Seen him before, actually. I'm trying to remember if I saw him fight. I've seen him before. I recognize the name. But yeah, I guess Dubois will be defending his WBA regular. Yeah, he must be. Yeah. Yeah. Decent undercard fight. This Lerana guy's only had one loss as well, and he's got power. But expecting Daniel to do his thing. But to be honest, that fight's probably more interesting to me than the main card, than the main fight, to be honest. But I'm not too sure who else is on the card. I think those are the two I've seen. I'm not too sure who else.
Yvonne Mendy.
Mendy's still there.
Yeah, he's on the undercard.
Okay.
Famously beat Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell? Huh? Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fighting again?
No, he's not fighting Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell's retired, remember? But he famously beat Luke Campbell.
Okay, yeah.
He's fighting Baranchik, I believe.
Fair. Is Mendy signed to Queensbury?
It might be now. Must be.
Fair. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll review it next week. Okay, let's talk about a real fight. Let's go to America, Flowz. Let's talk about a real fight. Last week I've said the last couple of weeks how there probably isn't any good fights for end of Q4. This is probably the only good fight, to be honest, to me. The only good major fight that's like worth salivating over. We've got Chocolatito versus Estrada III, the trilogy. This is a good fight because the first two fights have been sensational, especially that last fight, Flowz. I think did we give it flop? We didn't get fight of the year, but it was in contention, right?
Well, yeah, it would have been in the mix.
100% in the mix. Yeah, man. First fight between these two, Chocolatito got the W. I think he even stopped Estrada. I can't remember, but it was ages ago. I think the first one's in 2012.
Yeah.
Third one was last year, and it was a split decision, and it was just back and forth. One of the most exciting fights of last year. Amazing stuff.
We were split on it.
We were split on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we said, but we even though we were split on it, Flowz, we said unanimously, run it back next year. We need it next year. This is too much of a classic. So we're getting that next week. I thought the hype about this is low, maybe because they're mini boys, they're small boys, and to be in America will be huge, I'm sure, and Latin America will be huge. But I feel like I haven't really seen much apart from the zone ad last week. I haven't really seen much hype around this one over on these shores. But best believe me, I'm hyped for it, bro. Based on that last fight, I'm gonna have to rewatch the first two fights again before the fight next week.
Yeah,
I have to because bro, that last fight was ridiculously good, man. Wow.
Yeah.
What a war. I'm expecting the same. I'm hoping we see the same.
Two guys over 1,000 punches thrown.
Yeah, over 1,000 punches thrown. Just two guys just going at it, toe to toe from round 1 to round 12. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to a spectacle, man. Huge spectacle.
Over 1,000 punches.
Crazy. That throws, that last fight, I still think about it, how ridiculous that last fight was. Insane.
Yeah. It's pointless giving predictions because it's going to be an evil contest. I imagine it to be more of the same. Picking up round 13 from the last time, or
basically
round 25.
These two know each other so well. So well. Yeah, man.
Yeah, great fight, man. Just tune in. If you're not doing anything,
trust.
Yeah, definitely tune in because this is one you will enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. It'll be a brilliant fight.
Bro, I'm just checking the CompuBox crediting both with 2,529 thrown punches combined. 2.5k punches thrown together.
You know how stupid that is.
the busiest fight of all time at 115 pounds.
I imagine Whyte v Franklin, they threw combined maybe 300 punches.
To be fair, it's tough comparing the small boys to heavyweights, though. But
Yeah, but
you can't compare the heavyweights.
yeah,
Just I guess put in perspective. Yeah, cool.
300 meters.
They're both coming off wins as well, because obviously they fought. So they obviously the last fight happened last year. They both had a fight, I think, this year, top end of the year, and obviously this was just a round off the year. So they're both coming off wins. So it's not like they're both coming in rusty or whatever, or one's coming off a loss. They're both coming off back to wins. So yeah, as you said, bro, just taking care of it from round 13. Basically, that's how I'm gonna see it. Do you have a winner on this one, Flowz?
Yes, like I said, it's hard to say.
This one's up in the air, bro.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Yeah. Whoever wins. It's hard to make a prediction.
Man did the real third that just enjoy them.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy both of them.
I think last time I went Estrada, you said Chocolatito took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I can't predict this time. I'll be so real.
Yeah, I can't
predict this time. I can't. I'll be so real.
How are you meant to score 2,000 punches?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard. Especially, it's just enjoy it.
Flowz, if this fight is a stinker, I think this sums up boxing 2022. I think if this fight flops, I'll be so real.
Yeah.
But we really have to put this year in rice and be like, cool, this is probably the worst year of boxing ever. If this fight doesn't go down as how we think it's going to go down. Because I find it really hard how this could stink. Because them divisions anyway, they go for it anyways. But these two are madmen. So yeah.
Only way is maybe Chocolatito's getting older, but it's a year on and he looked strong last time. So
he looked strong. Yeah, I was gonna say he looked calm to me. Yeah. So let me see.
He's looking like old.
I was gonna say he's not like Estrada's 32 and he's had 46 fights, so he's fought a lot. Chocolatito he's
like 50.
He's 35. He's 35.
Yeah.
And he's had 54 fights. So
there's a lot of mileage.
Older. Yeah, there's a lot of mileage, and Chocolatito is slightly older. He's got more fights as well. So yeah, maybe it could be the wear and tear, but he looked strong to me. So boy,
yeah,
because it's one apiece. They both have to go in for this one.
Yeah,
they have to go in for this one. Yeah, this is what we talk real rivalries. Real rivalries.
Yeah. I don't anticipate a stoppage, but it'll be amazing to see one.
Yeah, true.
I think it'll be another close fight. I'll be so honest. MD, SD, something.
Yeah, man. I look forward to reviewing it next week with you, bro. Cool. Do you want to quickly mention the little tiff that we saw between our favorite 135 pounders?
Yeah.
Before we wrap up.
Yeah, so I think Tank's done an interview. I'm not sure who with. It's on Skype or something. One of them things there. And the question was posting, or someone posted that the only people you can see beating Tank, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank himself. And Tank said, "You're right with the last one. only Gervonta Davis can beat himself. That he sparred both them, man, Haney and Shakur. They don't want to see him. He cracked both of them. He said he cracked them. He almost knocked out Devin Haney in sparring.
Yeah,
because he was posting that Devin Haney got the better of him in one sparring session. They sparred twice, and Devin Haney got the better of him in the last one. And Tank refuted it. He said, "Nah, he always stopped him. His dad had to pull him out of the sparring." And obviously, Haney and Shakur took the two out quickly. And Shakur especially was crushing it. He called him all kinds of names, pussy. Saying, why is it now you want to say my name when he's got two fights lined up? And it was great to see, because this is kind of the first time we're seeing Shakur getting a mix with these men in terms of Haney as well.
Because we've seen Tank and Devin have had a beef for a while actually. They've been going back and forth. But it's nice to see Shakur now getting the mix, because Shakur usually is quite he talks his stuff, but he's respectful in the way he talks it. But this is the first time I've seen him get rattled and get angry. And
he's violent.
He sent something back, and obviously Tank sent a screenshot of Shakur basically implying that Shakur was bum-licking him, you don't go, I really want blah, but proper supporting him and etc. He didn't actually reply to Haney, I don't think, from what I saw. But him and Haney have their own little thing going on. I like Haney was like, he said he cracked me, but why didn't you tell your team to release the footage then? Because basically Haney was like, I was smoking you, and your team won't release the footage. You're like, you got one good shot, that was it. But I was owning you the whole sparring or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see Flowz, but I quickly it was a quick calm down for me because I've been there before, man, with this stuff. I've seen it back and forth between these guys. I just want to see you lot fight, and we know it's difficult with these man getting in the ring together. So
it's not difficult with Haney or Shakur.
Yeah, those two were. But we know Tank is the issue. He himself was going. I still don't know what went on with him and Mayweather. You told me I thought he was still in. You said he's out. We're seeing him tweet and delete stuff about, asking them to release him from the contract. I don't know what went on with Mayweather Promotions, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. He keeps doing this tweet and delete stuff. It's just crazy. But yeah, hopefully that situation will be resolved and we can actually see some of these big fights.
Hopefully one day we see Tank with these man. The bad blood is there already, especially with Haiti. Like Abe and Haiti don't like each other. They're always crashing at each other. And clearly now Shakur, he's in there as well. So yeah,
Tank's got a fight lined up. I thought what's his name?
The guy that turns a killer. Another Latino fight.
Dominican, I believe.
Yeah, let me get his name.
I want to guess his name is Garcia. Yeah, his name is Garcia. I didn't plan that. His name is Garcia.
This guy, Hector Garcia.
Yeah, Hector Garcia, yeah.
And then apparently Ryan Garcia, they got it set for April 15th.
I don't believe that.
I still don't believe it either.
Yeah.
But even the Wiki is locked in at April 15th to be announced in Las Vegas. But yeah. This guy is so funny. He's only fought Latino fighters. Do you know how funny that is?
Yeah. Yeah, Tank.
Yeah, this Hector Garcia, they're already trying to build him up as some killer.
Yeah, I'm seeing people say great opposition.
To be fair, he beat Chris Colbert.
Yeah.
Who's this Roger Gutierrez guy? Do I know him?
No, I don't really know. Win this.
Yeah, he should do it. It's a quick warm-up fight for the supposed Ryan Garcia fight that's going to happen in April.
Yeah.
Which we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not convinced yet.
I'm not convinced either, bro. But yeah, well, let's leave it at that, man. Yeah, man, another good episode. Another great episode of Strap Season. But yeah, unless there's anything else for you to add, Flowz?
Nah, not really.
No,
that's everything.
All right, then. Let's call it a day then, man. This has been episode 118 of Strap Season Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And make sure you check us out on all the streaming platforms. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.